Somebody asked me, Swamiji, why should I chant God's name? Why should I surrender myself to God? If you don't chant Rama's name, what you will be doing? You will be chanting your wife's name. If you don't surrender to your God, you will be surrendering to your mind, nothing else. What else you will do? People ask me, if I surrender everything to God, what will happen to my freedom? But understand, you have no such thing as freedom. As on now, your ego, your mind is ruling you. Just your mind is ruling you. When you say yes to God, you say no to mind. Mind and the meditation, mind and the energy, they are just mother-in-laws, daughter-in-laws. How much you try, you cannot make them live together. Just you cannot make. It is a sheer, simple truth. I have seen many times, just because she loves something, this person will hate. Just because she loves, no other reason. Just because he loves, she will hate. I have seen always, if the mother-in-law first comes to me, daughter-in-law will never come. If daughter-in-law gets attached to me, mother-in-law will never come. Because always the other is wrong. You have a clear-cut idea, she is wrong. Anything she does, you know for sure. You don't ask the argument and then pass the judgment. You know for sure, if she does, it is wrong. And she knows if you do, it is wrong. They both don't go hand in hand. They both don't stay together. Because both try to possess the same son. The same man is possessed by both. The same person, mother also tries to possess, wife also tries to possess. Same way, yourself, your being, will be possessed by the mind and the consciousness. Meditation and the mind, both will try to possess your being. If you say yes to someone, you have to say no to someone. If you say no to someone, you have to say yes to someone. So understand, you can say yes to only one person, not to two persons. If you know the technique, please teach me, because thousands are asking me. If you know the technique to say yes to both, please teach me. You can't say yes to both. You need to say yes to only one. You can say only to one. Somebody asked Yavan Swami, a great spiritual person, Swamiji, please teach me the mantra to convert my wife into spirituality. He said, if I would have known that mantra, why I became Swami? So if you know the mantra to say yes to both, teach me, because so many are asking me. You can't say no to say yes to both the persons. Either if you say yes to daughter-in-law, you have to say no to mother-in-law. Same way, if you say yes to the mind, you will say no to the meditation. If you say yes to the meditation, no other way, you have to say no to the mind. Either you can surrender to Rama or Kama, that's all. That's a beautiful verse by Tulsi. Where Rama is, there Kama cannot be. Where Kama is, there Rama cannot be. Anybody knows the verse? Hindi verse. Tulsi's beautiful verse. In Tulsi Ramayana, before starting the Ramayana, they used to chant this. This is the introductory verse of the Tulsi Ramayana. Where there is Kama, there cannot be Rama. Where there is Rama, there cannot be Kama. So when you say no to your mind, you get solidified, you get integrated, you get centered, you get strengthened. When you say yes to your mind, you let go your life in the way as it goes. In the way as it goes, you reach nowhere. You reach nowhere. Whenever you say no to your mind, your whole energy gets collected, your whole energy gets solidified, your whole energy gets strengthened, your whole being gets centered. This yama means the rules and the regulation are the techniques and methods to say no to your mind, to say no to your ego, to say no to the senses which pulls you down to the earth, which does not allow you to fly on the heights of the consciousness. The first step, yama, has got 5 separate branches. Satyam, Brahmacharya, Ahimsa, Aparigraha, Asteya. Satya. Let us first go to the Satya. It's a beautiful thing. We understand Satya means not telling the lies. Am I right? Satya means you understand as a truth. That is a big problem. The Satya word don't have equivalent word in Sanskrit, in English. Truth does not mean Satya. Please understand. Truth word is not an equivalent term for Satya. Satya has got 3 dimensions. Truth conveys only 1 dimension of it. Satya means being truthful in word, mouth and deed. In mind, in word and deed. In Tamil there is a beautiful 3 words. Meimai, Vaimai, Unmai. If you understand Tamil, you understand these 3 words, otherwise I will translate. Meimai means the Satya practiced in the body level, the Mei. Vaimai means the Satya practiced in the level of mouth. Vaimai, not the lipstick. Unmai means the Satya practiced in the level of mind. When you practice the Satya in all these 3 levels, Manacha, Vacha, Karmana, he said beautifully. The mind and the word and the deed. Only then it is called truth. But ordinarily the word truth is understood only as a verbal truth. Verbal truth is only 1 dimension of truth. It does not mean all the 3 layers of truth. See, most of us, we speak only the truth. And we have to speak the truth. Now lie detector machines have come. Lie detector machines have come. Most of us, we speak only truths. We speak only truth in the verbal way. But please understand, we speak truth in words in thousands of ways. We don't live in the body. We don't live the truth in the body language. You need to understand a small story. Albert Einstein, the great scientist of last century, the greatest truth discovered in last century is discovered by Einstein. Einstein is the person who turned the whole scientists, the whole perspective of the West, whole perspective of the science towards the Eastern spirituality. The last word of Einstein is everything exists is energy. Whatever exists is energy. That's the last word of Einstein. Somebody asked Einstein, you say whatever exists is energy. How matter becomes energy, energy becomes matter? How can whatever exists become energy? Einstein says, here ends science and starts spirituality. He says this question cannot be answered logically. Finally, his last books if you read, he speaks more like a rishi than like a scientist. He has done a beautiful work in his last phase of life. Only one thing I will quote from him. His last word, still now, I think still now it is not updated, that his theory, still now people couldn't update. I do not know whether tomorrow or day after tomorrow they will update it or not, because the speed in which it is going. But till today, we were not able to update Einstein. Almost he holds good, or he holds the truth. He says whatever exists is energy. That's the last word as on now from the science. The first word of the first Upanishad, is Ishavashyam idam sarvam. Whatever exists is energy. The last word of the science and the first word of the Upanishads. The first Veda is Rig Veda. The first Upanishad is Isavasya Upanishad. The first statement of the Isavasya Upanishad is Ishavashyam idam sarvam. Whatever exists is energy. The last word of the science and the first word of the Upanishads, last word of the science and the first word of the spirituality is one and the same. So Einstein says, where science ends, there spirituality starts. Somebody asked him at the time of death, if God gives you one more birth, how you want to take birth? What form, what way you want to live? Everybody was expecting the Einstein will say, I will become an atomic scientist. Everybody thought he will say that I want to become an atomic scientist, or I want to become this or that. But he gave a beautiful reply. If God gives me one more birth, I want to become a plumber. Just a plumber. Nobody could understand. Then he says, throughout my life, from the young age, I had the deep desire to live like a plumber, to live the life of the plumber. In the young age, I took up only that job. Somehow, by situation, I landed up in the hands of scientists. By comparing and running with them, learning this way and that way, my mind is also brainwashed. Finally, I became a great scientist. Today, I have all the wealth, popularity, name and fame, power, everything science can provide. Everything a man can have. I have everything, but I feel that I have missed my life. I feel I missed my life. He makes one more beautiful statement. The greatest truth is discovered by me, but my life has become a lie. When you need to understand this one thing, when you don't live your life, when you don't live your choice, you make your whole life as a lie. You may not tell a lie verbally, but in body, in the level of deed, in the level of karma, in the level of action, you make your whole life as a lie. Look at the world, everything is just mess. What for we are born, we don't fulfill that life. What for we are grown up, we don't fulfill that life. We just see here, there, and just get attracted by the colors of the life. In the ancient India, there was a tradition called Varnashrama Dharma, heavily criticized by these modern psychologists and the great modern social revolutionists. They just criticize the Varnashrama Dharma. I tell you, we are the only society, the one and only society who survived 5,000 years. No society has survived more than 300 years. In 300 years, all the other social structures have just tumbled down. They have broken to pieces. They are no more. But till today, a man who created the Varnashrama Dharma, Manu, if he suddenly comes down to the earth and goes in the streets of India, he will never feel he has come to a new place. He will feel, oh, I am in my home. Still now, the culture, the heritage, the social structure is preserved just because of that one idea, the Varnashrama Dharma. The son learns the profession of the master, profession of the father. The grandson learns from the father. Just by tradition, the knowledge is imparted. The only problem in Varnashrama Dharma happened is the lower and higher consciousness, the inferiority, superiority, ego. That's the only small mistake. But I tell you, if you get a small tumor in the knee, you should cut the tumor, not the leg itself. Or you should not kill the person himself. But in the name of social revolution, we have given such a strong chemo, the person has died. That is what we did. In the name of, you see, everywhere, criticizing the Brahmins and sannyasis is a modern tradition, especially in Tamil Nadu. Criticizing the Brahmins and the sannyasis is the modern trend. If you are fashion, if you are not criticizing them, you are not updated. You are not fashion enough. The fools does not know. Just because of these few handful of sannyasis and the Brahmins, they preserved whatever you call in the name of culture. It is they who preserved it. If the Chidambaram Brahmins are not there, where is your Devaram and Tiruvasakam? Where is your culture? Where is your temples? If you sannyasis are not there, where is your all culture? Not only the spiritual culture, the very basic thing, your medicines, Siddha, Ayurveda, your art, Bharatanatyam, culture, dance, your music, Carnatic, whatever you call, whatever decoration, makeup you have in your face to show your face to the world today, these are the only 2-3 makeups you have. If this is also is not there, even dog won't care. If we people are running around today in the world, showing our face, these are the few things, our dance, our music, our temple culture, our spirituality, these are the few things which we boast, and these few things are preserved just only by this handful of sannyasins and Brahmins. We have a great tradition, continuously criticizing them. And Tamil movies, Joker means this cloth only. You can see, Tamil movies, Joker means either this cloth or the Yajñobhavita. These two only is the trademark of Joker. Understand, it is these few handful of people who preserved the whole culture, who preserved the whole tradition, who kept the whole thing alive. Even today, if a Manu comes down on this earth, on this India, he will not feel the social structure is disturbed, because 5,000 years the structure has survived, structure is alive. Why? This one concept, Satya. Each one fulfills the hereditary duties. The man who is supposed to become engineer never becomes a doctor. Man who is supposed to become engineer, if he becomes doctor, what will happen? A man who is supposed to do the business, he never enters into the field of spirituality. A man who is supposed to become a worker, he never enters into the field of business. The confusion of changing the attitude never existed. So as long as you lived that system, the truth prevailed, Satya prevailed. That is why they call Satya Yuga. Means where the Varnashrama Dharma was alive. When the Varnashrama Dharma was alive. Today, the whole thing is now topsy-turvy. The man who is supposed to be a worker, he sits in the seat of preacher. The man who is supposed to be a doctor is in the seat of architect. Man who is supposed to be in the seat of architect becomes a lawyer. What will happen? The whole confusion, mess. And not only the social confusion, even individually they feel the dissatisfaction in the life. People don't feel satisfied. I tell you, at least from now onwards, give importance to the Satya in your body language. Not only in verbal language. Verbal language is very easy. You can cheat yourself very easily. Verbal language is only 33%. Body language is the major portion of your life. I have seen many people, they just need meditation. They love meditation. Just for the sake of their husband, they won't go to master. just for the sake of wife, he will not go to the master. Then you make your whole life as a lie. Please don't compromise anything for others' sake. If you compromise, you make your life as a lie. As long as you live your life with a clear understanding, as long as you carry on your life, you will see, you will be following the Satya in your body language. When you live your life for the sake of somebody else, for the sake of others, you start lying in your whole life. Your whole body language just becomes a lie. Even the fashion. Have your own fashion. Why should you imitate somebody else's fashion? As long as you have your own fashion, you have your own style, you follow Satya in your lifestyle. Have Satya in everything. In Zen Buddhism, when they bring a teacup from the market, they bring it to the house and first they will break it. First thing they do is they will break the cup and paste as they want. It will be the same cup but totally different. Their rubber stamp will be there. They will have their own say on it. There is nothing similar. Everything is unique. Even in the teacup, they will have their way. So have your own way in everything. Have your understanding in everything. Have your clear-cut freedom, clear-cut understanding, clear-cut way of thinking and way of living and way of speaking. Having your own way in thinking, speaking and doing is what is called Satya. Satya does not mean speaking only the truth. Satya means living the truth, speaking the truth, thinking the truth. What for you are born, express that. Express the life of yours. Otherwise, in the time of deathbed, you will be talking like an Einstein. I tell you, if you express your life, even if you don't make money, even if you die in a platform, you will die with a tremendous satisfaction that you lived your life.